Hey race fans, I'm Sean and Real Racing TV is back. It's been a minute since we've had a show here. The world is a very different place. I'm broadcasting to you live from my kitchen dining room area, trying to spruce the place up. I've got a fern here with me, but you're not here to hear me talk, I know. So I want to welcome everyone to Behind the Helmet, our newest show that gives us a chance to get to know some of our favorite drivers. And with me on this historic first episode, Sam Bird from Envision Virgin Racing. It's a mouthful.
Hey guys, yeah, helps when you say it correctly.
It does. Envision Virgin Racing. Yeah, I'm trying.
There we go. We got it the second time. Hi everybody. Hi.
Let me do that again one more time. Sorry, I've been trying.
I think it works quite well. It's quite funny.
All right, you know what? We'll just keep going. That's how we do things here. We're going live. There we go. All right. Sam, okay, so just kind of, if you want to introduce yourself a little bit, just say, a bit about yourself.
Hey guys, so my name is Sam Bird. I race the number 2 machine for Envision Virgin Racing. I've been doing Formula E since the very first race. I've done every single race, every single season, and currently I'm the only driver to have won a race every single season.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, were you able to race? We had the season had kicked off right before we went into lockdown and everything, right?
Yeah. Yes. So we've done like 5 or 6 races. I won the opening round. We've shown some great speed. I kind of mucked up a little bit in Mexico when I was in second place with 2 laps to go. I hit the wall. So that wasn't ideal, but we've shown some amazing speed. Topped more sessions than any other driver so far this year, but we haven't scored the points to really prove that.
Yeah, well, let's just kind of jump in. I've got some questions I want to go through, so we can kind of just get to know you a little bit. So, talking about like, being in lockdown and everything, what have you been doing to keep yourself occupied?
I have learned a lot about stuff that I did at school because I've got 2 young stepkids. We've been going back to school, so we've been doing tutors. I've been doing maths, science, French, Spanish, all kinds of stuff that I had completely forgotten from my school days, from the ages of 10 to 12. I'm now the king at again, so that's quite cool. I've also been doing a lot of running, cycling, and working out. I have a little home gym. In fact, you're joining me live right now from my home gym, as it's got the best Wi-Fi connection. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I've used it as like a little mini training camp to try and better myself. I wanted last year to lower my weight considerably because I was quite bulky last season, up at like 71 kilos. I've now dropped it by close to, if not slightly more than 10 kilos, which is quite significant for someone of my stature, not being the tallest guy. So I feel like I've done a good job on that front.
Yeah, wow. So yeah, you're kind of living with it. That's what everyone kind of, I feel like, going into this wanted. They're like, I'm going to be in the best shape of my life. I'm going to use this as, and I think you're the only person I've talked to that is actually doing it. So
no, it's been good. I've been able to eat healthy for weeks on end. It's very difficult when you're on the road, when you're traveling to some of these racetracks, to really eat healthy all the time. A, there's too many temptations, and B, some places just don't cater for my dietary requirements and dietary needs. So at home, I can really push the boundaries on what I want to do in order to achieve my goals. So it's been good.
That's amazing. I mean, I guess the other thing, like leading up to, have you picked up any hobbies besides, relearning Spanish and maths and everything?
So my wife has picked up a new hobby. I don't think I have. My wife, well, we live down in Poole, which is close to a town called Bournemouth. So we're right down south coast of England by the sea. And we go to a place called Sandbanks, and my wife now paddle boards. So we've been, driving the board down there, inflating the board, and then she goes out and paddle boards. So at least one of us has a new hobby. So while she's doing that, I go and take the dog for a walk.
Oh, I mean, that sounds like a win-win. That's nice. All right.
Yeah.
So getting back into racing, how did, like, you've been racing since you were a teenager. So how did you kind of like, you know, begin, you know, racing and get into Formula E?
I mean, my journey into motorsport began way before I ever sat in a car or a go-kart. I mean, I enjoyed watching it on TV as a tiny little toddler. I used to watch it with my mum and dad, used to tell them how much I enjoyed it, how much I wanted to have a go in a go-kart. I used to write letters to them and put them under their pillow, tell them, can I have a go? Anyway, one fateful day that I'm sure they regret, they took me karting. I think it was on my birthday, like 8th or 9th birthday. I had my first ever go. I loved it. And then what happened after that was, if my grades were good at the end of each term, my mum and dad would allow me to go to the indoor karting track in London for a morning. And it just sort of snowballed from there, really. We met someone who then put us in a kart for a season. I did well, and it went on and on and on to the position where I am today.
Wow, awesome. So now that you know your kids are, you know, if they keep their grades up, they have a similar deal with you on that end?
Seeing as that I know what it takes, and financially the support that you need.
Yeah.
No, they can take up football, golf, tennis, cricket. If one of the boys loved motorsport enough and had the talent and requirements and that tenacity that you need and require in order to become an athlete, I would absolutely throw everything at it. But they have chosen other avenues to explore, and luckily, I don't have to do that.
Yeah, no. So you've been with Formula E since basically the beginning, the launch of the Formula E season. So what is one of your most memorable moments with Formula E?
I mean, besides the wins, obviously the wins stick out the most, and all the positive podiums and cool overtakes. I would say the day that really sticks out the most in terms of a memory of like, wow, look how far we've come, is day one at Donington when the first cars arrived. So we arrived at Donington, I think it was May the 15th or May the 14th, 2014. All of us signed up drivers and the teams were there at Donington to watch these first 10 cars be delivered in full at Donington, because everybody was based there, and these just basic carbon fiber monocoque chassis turned up. And that was the beginning. That's when you kind of first knew, right, this is actually a thing now. This is, I'm going to be driving one of those cars. This is my future. But I had no clue what Formula E was going to be capable of 6-7 years down the line. I mean, you look at it now, it's unrecognizable to what it was back then. But, you know, we did have humble beginnings, but now we've grown into this juggernaut series that is taken extremely seriously by an awful lot of people, with more manufacturers than Formula One. And it's just amazing to think that we started there and where we are now.
Yeah, no, it really is amazing. Yeah, we've been lucky enough here at Real Racing 3 to have you guys in game the last 3-4 years. So, yeah, just incredible to see where it's been and, you know, see where it's going.
Yeah.
And talk about where it's going. How do you think things are going to be changed? You know, considering, you know, what the world has kind of gone through with the pandemic and stuff. How do you envision that?
Oh man. That's a tricky one. There's going to be changes. There's going to be changes to pre-race, build-ups, post-race, wind-down, mechanic interactions. You know, we don't have pit stops. So once we're in the car, we're fine, and we don't have to interact in that close proximity. It's going to be strange. I know that Formula E are putting out a lot of security with regards to people's health. We're going to be tested a lot when we get back to racing. There's going to be certain rules, certain standards to abide by. Dining and catering, food requirements are going to be very different. I think we're going to learn a lot from football. So I think Formula E has been watching the Bundesliga closely. We'll watch the Premier League, and we'll kind of take the best from everything that sport has done so far, PGA over the weekend, and try and kind of combine the best of everything to produce a slick, fun, well thought of race weekend that is safe for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, having been to a few Formula E events and stuff, I mean, it's the fans and the crowds and everything is such a big part of it. Yeah, I imagine that's going to be a tough transition.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, you started to cut out a little bit. The trials and tribulations of using home Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. I said you went to New York in 2017.
Yep, I was in New York in 2017, and I was in Hong Kong in 2016.
Ah, okay. So one of them I did quite well. The other one I was leading and then didn't do so well. Never mind. Okay.
You don't have to get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So since you've been around since the beginning, and I assume you know the teams and everything pretty good. Are there any stories about any of the other drivers that you can share with us?
I'm not gonna dive into any juicy, gossipy stories. I mean, myself and James Collado are pretty good friends. We've had some interesting times. I think. Hang on. Hello. Yep. I think. James and myself have had some fun times in the past. I think if you ask him about Shanghai 2017, he'd probably laugh. And I can't say any more. It was a post-race single drink at the bar that turned into quite a few more drinks. It was quite entertaining.
Yeah, awesome. Well, hopefully we're able to get him on the show, and I'll bring up Shanghai 2017. I wrote it down. We got it.
Yeah.
I'll ask him. I'll put him on the spot. I'll tell him you told me everything. Yeah. So
what happened in the bar? Just ask him what happened in the bar after the race in Shanghai WEC 2017.
I will ask him. I hope I get the chance. Amazing. So let's just, okay. So, you've been driving, since you were a little kid, but, if you weren't a professional driver, what else do you think you would be doing? Do you have any hobbies or causes or anything that you would, maybe dive into?
Well, when I was 16, 17, I had to actually make a choice between football and racing. I couldn't do both anymore. I was playing quite a high level of football. I was racing pretty seriously in karting by that point, and you can't do two sports. Nobody's able to be the best at two. So I chose my main love, my main passion, the burning desire within me that was motorsports, and I'm pleased that I did.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think you made the right decision.
I hope I made the right decision. I really hope so. Imagine if I was secretly Lionel Messi and I'd wasted it. I'd wasted that opportunity. Oh dear, yeah. Never mind.
The good news is you'll never know. So we can only assume this is the right path. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you've been training, you've been kind of getting, working out, getting back to where you want to be. When you're working out, when you're training, when you're practicing, what's on your playlist? What are your go-to kind of songs and stuff? What do you like to listen to?
I mean, so I have a Peloton bike. So I've been doing the classes on there.
Yep.
So that's inside when it's raining. I also have a treadmill, Techno Gym My Run treadmill. And I tend to watch a lot of Netflix on there. So that's kind of what I do on inside. But when I'm outside running, I listen to sort of high energy, high tempo stuff that goes with my heart rate. I tend to find that if I'm listening to slower stuff, I tend to slow down, because the positive endorphins that come from something with a high energy, high tempo beat make you, or make me perform just that little bit better. So I'm talking about high energy house, EDM, and some tunes that make you feel good and make you feel like you want to put your best. So that's kind of what I try and do, especially when I'm looking to run those couple of seconds per kilometer faster, trying to find that little edge.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, just get you in the right headspace, right?
Absolutely. There's times for the slower music, calming down, cooling down, but when I'm pushing, I need something up and high tempo.
Yeah, absolutely. So that kind of is getting toward the end, but I wanted to ask, like, what is something that just never fails to make you laugh?
Never fails to make me laugh. Probably my dog. So I have a dog.
Yep.
He's on Instagram, everybody, at Buddy the Cavapoo 22.
All right, we'll get that up there. Yeah, like and subscribe.
He makes me laugh. Yeah. I only need to look at him. He makes me laugh. I've never seen anything sleep for so long throughout the day. He'll take my shoes and put them in his bed and then sleep on top of the shoes. He'll take my clothes. He takes my socks. He's a bundle of joy, and he just puts a smile on my face.
That's amazing.
I would say the thing that makes me laugh is my dog.
And then one final question, you kind of brought it up. What have you been watching? We're all binge watching stuff here, being in isolation. What has been your go-to thing? What have you discovered? So
as a sportsman, I love sports and I love sports icons. Now, what better show has there been in lockdown than The Last Dance?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, I'm. The funny thing is, guys, people watching, I am 5'6". I'm not a basketball player, but man, I want to be Michael Jordan at the moment. I mean, unbelievable tenacity, the never quit attitude, and the fact that he's like, I would never get my teammates to do anything that I wouldn't do, yet he was just so dominant and so brilliant that nobody could do what he was doing.
Yeah.
Yet he pushed his teammates, and I suppose at the time it looked like borderline bullying. But when they look back at it now, and when he looks back at it, all he was doing was trying to motivate them, trying to better them, to try and reach his level, to create the best Bulls team the NBA has ever seen.
Yeah.
It's inspiring. It makes me more passionate as a racing driver, although there's no skill set that is the same that I can cross over from something like basketball to racing. What you can take across is that ferocious, tenacious mentality that he had. I can take that to racing, and I will try and do that in racing. Amazing. Sam, thanks so much for joining us. This has been awesome. No, pleasure. Thank you very much. Yeah, we really appreciate your time. I hope, once things get going back, I know you'll be busy, but hopefully you can join us again sometime. You seem to go to races where I do well. So look, you're invited to the whole season, my friend. That would be great. If you want to, I can be your good luck charm. I'm happy to do that. That'd be amazing. Yeah, I need to get my ratings up again on real racing. So, I'm not the best at the moment. I used to have really high ratings, so I need to perform better on track so I can get higher ratings on the game. Well, there's still some time. If there's free time, you can kind of put some of the exercise aside, drill down to real racing. Yeah, absolutely. All right then, guys. Well, thank you ever so much for your time today. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Sam.